Hello everyone, welcome once again to another Excel dashboard tutorial by Team SlideScope. In this part you will learn how to create this simple looking Excel dashboard where you can apply these simple filters, like let's say we applied gender filter, we compare female and male data. So how many patients are there, average treatment cost of these patients, average patient age, how many days they stayed in hotel, and our target field, which is average recovery score. So you can see treatment type wise performance, you can see doctor wise performance, you can compare. Let's say we want to compare Mr. Patel with Dr. Mehta, so you can use command and select multiple filters and compare them. You can see all the KPIs changing. You can see there are some charts like funnel chart or a tree map. These are not directly supported in a pivot table, but here they are getting filtered. You want to see for different type of departments, you can see that. You can see how data is changing. So whatever you are seeing here, you can use this and create reports from it, drive insights from it. Here we have all the pivot tables that we have used for this, and here is the data set. In the data set, columns like this with a simple if else, or columns like this with multiple conditions like age group depending upon age value is created. So let's learn how to create this and get started. So here is the data set which is in Excel format. In this Excel data set, we will, you can see we have different columns like patient ID, department, what kind of treatment was going on, doctor name, gender, age of patient, their treatment cost, how many days did they stay in the hospital, and on the basis of all of this, what was their recovery score. So this is more like a recovery score analysis where we will try to find out what factors will result in a better recovery score. We will try to see effect of department on recovery score, treatment on recovery score, doctor name wise average recovery score, gender wise recovery score, and so on. So we will try to create a simple interactive Excel dashboard with this. First of all, we have created a table here. So in Excel you have tables, so you can press Ctrl T to see your table. So here we have that table, and you will select that data, then go to Insert tab and insert pivot table, and here you will select from table or range, and you can see we have this table, it's called table 1, or you can select this range also, like you can press Ctrl A, select that range, and for example here we have, so you have that table name here, or you can select this name. So when you will select the name, it will be like this. So you will select the entire table. So here you can see it from hospital patient treatment data. This is the sheet name. You are selecting A1 to I86. So we are selecting 86 records, and similarly you can select all records. So obviously easier way is you just select your table here, and that table for us is table 1. So just go to pivot table and select table name, and just click OK, and we are choosing where you want your pivot table to be placed in new worksheet. So this new worksheet will be created. So here we have data, here we have sheet. We will rename this sheet as pivot underscore table. So here we are going to store all our pivot tables, and we are going to create another sheet where actually we are going to create the dashboard that you just saw. So here there are 3 such sheets with us, and we will save the work by pressing Ctrl S in Excel. On this very data set, we created another dashboard that was using Power BI, where we created some KPIs like number of patients, their average age, average stay days, average recovery score and all, and then recovery score by department, by doctor, etc. We had some filters also. So suppose we want to see data for neurology department. So you will be able to see recovery score by department, their average, maximum or minimum recovery score by department. These kind of things can be seen here. So we will try to create something similar in Excel also. Now here, that's why we have created a pivot table. So in a pivot table, you can summarize data. You can select one column, you can select other column, and you can summarize data. But first of all, we have to create the KPIs. KPIs for us are number of patients and average age of patients. So first we will select patient ID, and here when patient ID is selected, it directly goes into rows because it's an identifier. We will put it in values, where now we have count of patient ID. We can right click here, value field setting, and here we will just write something like patients count. So this will be patients count. Here whatever you write, it will not matter because in dashboard we are going to rename it anyway. But it is good that you rename and format data here itself. After patient ID, we will also get treatment cost. For treatment cost, in value field setting, I will select average, and in number format, I will go to custom and select this 0.00, so that we have value, the float value in two decimal places. So this is average of treatment cost, which is now in B4. Then we will select hospital stay days. Average age was also there. So we have 200 patients of different ages. Here, instead of sum of age, we will select average age. Click OK. Average age is 41.71. Here also, whatever value we are selecting, we have to select the same number format, 0 0.0, so that there are only two decimal places. Then how many days they stayed in the hospital. Here also value field setting, average, number format. So this is a repetitive process. So I'm quickly doing it. So here also how many days they stayed in the hospital, 16 days. And finally, the most important thing for us, the recovery score. Not sum of recovery score, but what was their average recovery score when they stayed in the hospital. And average recovery score is like a percentage, like marks you would get out of 100. So now you can see this is 70.38% for all these patients. So this is first pivot table for us, and here you have pivot table analyze. This is pivot table name. If you will use this pivot table to fetch data dynamically, you can rename these pivot tables also. We are going to call it KPIs, and you will save your data. Now you also see some filters over here like department, doctor name, gender. So when we get our data, we have some categorical values and some numerical values. This is a very easy data set that we have simulated using different tools. So when you have some categorical and numerical data, you try to create KPIs with the help of categorical data, most of the categorical data, and then you use these different uh, categorical data in your filters and in your charts also. So here we will insert, so we will select the pivot table, go to pivot table analyze and insert slicer. So in slicer we will select department, treatment type, doctor name, and we will also select gender. So now you will get these four filters. So we will just arrange these filters like this. So these filters are very important for us because once you will apply these filters, you will see these different key performance indicators as per these filters. For example, if we select department cardiology, number of patients are 24, average treatment cost is this, average age of patients is this, and their average recovery score is 70.50. But in oncology, it is 72.42. So this way, for different doctors or for different genders, you will see KPIs getting affected. Now here, for example, we we want to reduce the height. We can select two columns or three columns. So this way you can decide what type of layout you want for your filters. Like for example, treatment type. Here we can easily have two columns. So we can select this and select two columns. So this is what you can do. Next you can select some colors also. For example, here we are selecting colors. So we have some predefined colors for our filters as well. So what if we go with this color scheme? Then we will create the chart in this color scheme. So this way you will have your filter and you can customize them from here. Like you can select different color options or you can create a new style. You can also select this dark pattern, like these are dark colors. So whatever you feel is good for you, you can select these predefined colors to save your time or create a new slicer style which we have explained in many of our other videos. If you want to check that, please do comment in the comment section. I will give you that information. So now our pivot table is created, slicers are created, and now we will go to dashboard customization. Now once we are in our dashboard, we will press Ctrl A or select all, and then we will go to View tab, get rid of grid lines so that it looks like a plain dashboard, plain background, like we have something here, plain background. And then here we will add some shapes. So here, like in this design, you can see we have this image, we have this heading and a subheading. So we will go to insert here in Excel. Sorry for the noise coming from behind. Here in insert, you can go and add a shape for your heading. So you can see we have different shapes like rectangles we have. So let's say we go with this kind of rectangular shape. So this is what we can do here. So in this rectangular shape, we will use this much width, and here we are going to fill. So this is shape fill. Let's say for shape fill, we use this color. Shape outline, again we use the same color. So now we have the shape, but here you have shape effects. Some preset effects are there which will give your shape some kind of shading, so like this. So we will go with this for now, and here we are going to double click and write something. We will copy the subheading and heading. So this is our heading, and heading color is there. So we will go to home tab and let's select some color for it. So we will select, for example, this color. I will check other colors later, and we will increase its size to around 24. We can align it to center. So this will become our main heading. Here if you are seeing, heading is in this color. So what is this color actually? So every color has some kind of you know hexadecimal code. So if you go here, you can see this is the hexadecimal code for this color. So you can select from here if you want, or you can use the predefined colors that are already given in your Excel workbook. So for example, here if I will select this, you will see some predefined colors like this. So we can select them as well. This is hospital patient treatment data, recovery analysis. I am just adding Excel dashboard here, so that because I have created this same dashboard in Python, same dashboard in Excel, same dashboard in other languages, other tools also. So I'm just using that so that we can understand. And here is a subheading which tells purpose of this dashboard. Like we are trying to understand what drives better recovery. Okay, so I'm not going to use the full heading, but what drives better recovery. And by the way, for that Power BI dashboard also, we have in Power BI we have 4 such dashboards, and here you can check them out as well on our same channel. And here you can see we can create something like this and then probably reduce its height. So you can see when we are reducing the height, we are not able to see this subheading. So I will not use subheading like this. Rather, I will go insert a text box. If we want to add subheading, we can add using sub this text box as well. So what drives better recovery score, and we can place this text box anywhere. So here we have the text box. We have shape format where we can select we don't want any outline or white outline. And here we have font. We can select this font color and increase its height. So this way you can create your headings. After creating your heading, we have time to add some filters. So in our filters, we will select these filters and copy them and paste them here. So here we will use gender, doctor name, treatment type, and department name as filters. So I will just zoom out, arrange the filters in straight line, and then zoom our dashboard once again. So we will use it to up to 100%. So this is 100%. Now we have this also. And again in these filters also, like we have slicer. So you have different type of slicer settings. You can format them as per your requirement. Let's say we want to use some different kind of colors here. So we can double click or right click and duplicate this. So this is now called as a slicer style dark 6.2. We will call it SS SlideScope slicer style, so that I remember that we have created this. Here for whole slicer you have format, you have fill color, no color. Then for your header, like where this is written, you have format. In fill you have no color, pattern color is automatic. Then you have selected item with data, you will go format. Here you have some colors. So let's say you want to use a different color. Let's say we want to use this color. So here this color is has this hexadecimal code. You can get hexadecimal code of different colors by going to a website also. It is called HTML color codes, and this website you can check here. So here you can see different options. You can play with any color and select its color code. From here you can get these color. I am just selecting that, and here we have this pattern color. So we will select this color, go to more color and paste that code here and then press OK. So for pattern color I have now this color. I will click OK. Then selected item with no data format, and here you are using another pattern color. So we will select this color, go to more colors, and like we will enter that color, hit OK, and then choose its light color as you saw. Obviously this customization will need some time, but this way you can actually customize your data. Then unselected item with data, here you have format. So you can see pattern color, I will keep it as this. Unselected item with no data, again same. Hovered item with data, we are using this yellow color. If you want any other color, you can select that. Hovered item with selected data, same yellow color. Then we have hovered item, and finally this. So we have some data here. Let's click OK, and now we have this. So we have different slicer styles. So we will select the custom style and apply over this filter. So let's try. So now you can see after further modification we have this data. So selected items with data and selected items with no data, you have to use these different pattern colors. And for hover also, instead of yellow, if you want some other color you can select, which we will decide later. Now we have this style and we will just go to the slicers and apply. So this way you can customize your slicers as per your requirement as well. So we are just using these colors like hover color, and then you can select accordingly. Now after having these slicers, after having your heading, what we can do is now we can try to create more charts. And before creating more charts, we will try to bring some KPIs over here. So we have patient count, average treatment cost, etc. These kind of KPIs are there. Here, if you see for KPIs, we have a card, and over card we have numbers. So we will try to do the same thing, and we have to create 5 such cards. So first of all, we'll again go to insert, we'll again go to shapes, and you can either select a rectangle, circle, whatever shape you want for your KPIs. So I will use the rectangular shape and create it like this. Now for this shape, if I select this shape, format painter and apply, so you can see same styling will be copied, same shadow as we created earlier. Now we have this shape. If we double click on it, let's say, then we can write count of patients or patients count. Then we can change its size. So this is showing patients count. And if we want to show the number, we can copy this text box and paste it here. We will use this text box data. So in this text box we have given literal string, but here we will use equal to pivot underscore table, or we can also use get pivot data, but we are going to use pivot underscore table, which is this sheet, and there A4 is the column where we have this data. So if you will press A4, you will get 200, a dynamic number. This number is number of patients, and we will select it, press Control B. The font color that we were using is this same color. So here you can use the same kind of font color. You can use around 18 pixel value, 13 pixel for your font value, or you can increase it also. We'll see that later. This is patients count, and let me increase it to 24. Yes. So now we have patient counts, and this way we have it. And how is this A4? Because we have this value in A4 in pivot table. So this way you can reference the data. Now we will select this and this together, Control C or copy, and Control V or paste. Now we have second KPI, paste, third KPI, paste, last KPI, because we want to use this height or this particular width, and then this. So now after pasting them, we will arrange them later, but this is how we can paste the KPIs. First is patient count, second is average treatment cost. So we can bring this also dynamically, but I am just writing it average treatment cost, and don't worry about it. If we are not seeing, we will use one line for heading, so we can increase their width. Now average treatment cost is in B4, so I will just write B4. Don't worry about this because these numbers need to be reformatted. So we'll just copy, format and paste here. Now you can see number becomes shorter. That's why I was keeping enough space. So now we have average treatment cost. Then we have patients count. So for that we will have average age of these patients, average age, and this is in C4. We will keep repeating this. Format printer, apply here, average age. Then we have average of hospital stays. So this way we can create all our KPIs and simply copy formatting. I am copying the same formatting, but you can, because these are different KPIs, so you can use different colors also. So I am using it like this. In Excel, we do have some kind of limitations over formatting, but obviously you can see we are trying to match as much as we can. So like here. Obviously color, everything can be changed accordingly. For example, here we have for headings we can use a different color like this as we used for our subheading. So you can go with that as well, but I'm going to keep this. Now don't forget to save your work because if you have heavy data, Excel may crash. So please keep saving your work so that you can recover easily. Now, when I said that we are keeping or we are creating KPIs that are dynamic, so if you click here, so when you are copying this data with reference of that pivot table sheet that we created, so you will be able to see that these filters are getting applied on that as well. So that's why we create them. Then we will copy and paste this same pivot table. We are copying and pasting this pivot table because when you will copy and paste, you will go to pivot table, analyze, you will see filter connections. So you will see that same filter connections are applied here as well. So these filter connections need to be reapplied if you will not copy and paste. So that's important, copy and paste part. Then they are showing recovery score by department. This is what we have to show, recovery score by department. So for recovery score by department, now we will get rid of all these values. First, we'll just select average recovery score and we'll select department. So this is average recovery score by department. And here you can see in our case, we have selected average, maximum and minimum. So to understand this data in a better way, we will select recovery score. Then we this is obviously one column, and if you will right click here you will not see any duplicate option. So how can we duplicate this and show minimum? So just drag it one more time, and this time in value field setting, let's say we will select minimum. So this is showing minimum recovery score. We'll just get rid of minimum recovery score, custom formatting, click OK. So this is minimum recovery score, this is average recovery score, because these fields will reflect in our charts. These values, these labels will reflect in our chart. So we'll keep them short and simple. So average recovery score, minimum, and suppose you want other statistical values like variation, standard deviation, etc. So let's select a standard deviation in recovery score, standard deviation of the selected population in recovery score. So we will select a standard deviation of recovery score or normal standard deviation. So however you want to select as per given instructions. So you can see in all departments standard deviation is very close number, but it is minimum in case of orthopedics. So like we have less variation in recovery score in orthopedic as compared to cardiology. So that's how we can interpret that. So now we will select this, go to insert. So you can see pivot chart is available. In pivot chart, now we have different options available. Either we can go with clustered column or stacked column. Clustered column, you will see three different columns for three different values. Stacked column will show like this. So because these are three different matrices, so we will select a clustered column. Here we have some 3D options also. So let's go with this 3D option. Let's see how it looks and click OK. Now we have this chart and you can see we have these labels. Although if you will right click and you will select your pivot chart options, you have a lot more things to customize, like in display, show expand collapse buttons, show contextual tooltips, display, like you can get rid of these things. So you can see in your pivot table these expand collapse buttons will disappear. So in pivot chart option display you have different options. Then for data, like save source data with file, enable show details, these kind of things are there. In layout and format, when compact, indent, row level. So this is pivot table options. And for your chart, like we have chart, if you want to format this chart area, because it also has various elements, so you can select format chart area, and now you have different options. Like first you have fill and border. If you want to fill anything, so here you can see we are not using any fill here. We are just using a simple white color background and no fill. So here fill is automatic, border is given. We just select rounded corners so that we have this rounded corner here. And then we go to this shape effects, where in shadow presets I will select this second preset, which will give a similar kind of shadow that we have. So you can see, so for your shadow and size blur, let's say we want to increase blur to 4 or 5 pixels, so this is what you can do. Now in these kind of charts, if like you can see now they are appearing as cylinder. So if you will select one bar, you will be able to change how it looks. You can change it to a pyramid or a cone or a cylinder. Like these kind of different options are there, because we are seeing three values. But this is how you can customize it. So also when we select any particular chart, we also have options for colors, like what kind of fill are we going to use. So let's say we are going to use same kind of fill, like that. So we can select this and then we can obviously copy. Even for this, like how much angle is it, you can see it is currently at an angle of approximately 45 degrees. You can change these kind of things as well. You can change their fill, you can change their orientation, text direction. You can see different options here. So more time you can spend on text options, you can spend on their axis options. Everything that you see here is customizable, even this legend. So for example, if I select this legend and drag it down here, and then this is the chart area. If I select this chart area, try to increase its width, I can do that as well. So this setting. Now we can copy this, go to our dashboard and simply paste it here. Now in our dashboard, we can reduce its zoom option and then we can select. So let's say we have to use 3 charts here. So we will use this much width. And as I said, for example, this legend position is there. We can increase or decrease its height or width or get rid of it total in total, and we can increase like this as well. So after further customization, like you can spend more time here and format your charts. Here, once you have something like presets where we are using offset bottom or offset bottom left, so you will be able to see some kind of shadow over here, and you can use other options like, for example, if I'm here, so here you have transparency, size, blur, everything that you see here, you can increase that. Then you have blur, you can decrease that. So these type of things can be there. Then even with glow, you can increase size of glow. Obviously, whatever you want to show, you can select that accordingly. But these are the options which are all available here, and you can customize accordingly. Now after formatting our shape in our dashboard, we can get rid of this, but we'll keep this pivot table. Next, we will paste the pivot table again and see other chart. Other chart is average recovery score by doctor name. So if we select obviously recovery score and select doctor name here, so we just need that. So we will remove other fields. Here we only have 2 fields. So in such cases, there are other type of options available as well. We go to insert. If we go to pivot chart, we can see obviously we can create a simple horizontal or vertical bar. So this is horizontal bar where we can select this option or this 3D option that is available here. For this also we can select minimum maximum, but let's say simply we want to go with this or this. So here we will select that. Here we will select our chart, and obviously we have, if we right click, we have format chart area. In chart area, for example, first of all here we'll select rounded corners as we did. Then we have this shape option where we have shadow, we have selected this. Here I have used 14 point blur, 14 point as blur, and distance around 4 or 5 centimeter, 4 or point 5 points. We'll see and confirm. This is what you can do. Then you can right click. So if you will click on these bars, you right click, you have fill option. What type of color do you want? So you can select from different colors that we have here. These are available colors, or you can also select the same color that we used here. So we will select this, and here in shape is style. So you can keep these kind of colors ready, and again I'm going to use this in all of them. So we will select all of them and then fill more fill colors, custom, paste the color, okay, and now we have that bar. If you want to use any other color, you can select, and we will copy it and we will paste it here. So this is average recovery score by doctor name, and we can keep little bit of gap between them so that that 3D kind of effects applies, and then we can reduce its width as well. Here also we have this legend. For now I'm just getting rid of legend because We are just trying to understand what it is. And this is average recovery score by doctors. We can increase more space here, increase the space for this. Here, these are interactive charts, so you can sort them. You can select or unselect any value here also, and you will be able to see that. So whatever you are doing here will reflect here. So this is how you can create this chart. Once we create all these three charts, we will see how we how much width we want for them. But this is a way to create this type of simple bar charts. So as we created average recovery score by gender, we also have by treatment type, which we have just selected here. Now obviously different chart options are available here, but if we want to add something like a funnel chart or any other chart, that option is directly not given here. You cannot create this. You have to paste data outside. So we will copy this data, right click here and paste special or just paste values here. Once we have pasted values here, if we again go to this drop down here and select all charts in funnel chart, we'll be able to see that chart. Okay, this chart is available, but problem is this chart will not be dynamic. Like if I copy and paste this chart here and if I select department, so you can see all other three charts are getting changed, but this one is not. So this is something that we have to address. So how to do that? So first this chart is there. Now once this chart was created or when you will select it, it shows data. Okay. First we have to clear all the filters. Yeah. So it shows data. So once we select this chart, like here you select this chart, it shows data. Actually we want this data. So here you have different options, like if you select it, you have data. So in data, it is selecting average recovery score, and horizontal category axis it is showing this. So what we need to do is, let's say if I remove this and then for data I select this part dynamically. Okay, it gives you a series. You can call it medication or treatment type. So this is treatment type. Click OK. Okay, now also we have the chart. What if we copy it now and paste it here? Now if we select, you can see this chart getting trimmed, this chart getting filtered. So this is how you can create a simple funnel chart in a pivot table or with the data of a pivot table or dynamic customization. Here chart title is there. So we will say average recovery score by treatment type, and for this also we will just use this much width. Height also you can customize as per its top neighbors. Here you will not see rounded corners because it's not a pivot chart. It will have little bit of different options, but here in presets we'll do the same thing. Like here we used 15 pixel and 9 pixel 9 point not pixel, and once you do that you will have some kind of preset also, preset shapes also. Now you can see we have some treatment cost and we have some recovery score. For treatment cost, minimum value is around 5,000 and maximum value is around 149,000. So let's say if treatment cost, I'm just giving it a simple if and else. You can add more categories also. So we are saying if treatment cost is less than 75,000, we will say that it is low cost or lower cost, and above we will say higher cost. So we will add a column here. So we are writing if. So obviously a new column is being added where we are using if treatment cost is in G column. So if G2 is greater than 75,000, we will say it is cost, high cost. Otherwise, we will say low cost. Obviously, this is not it, but you can create something like very low cost, medium cost, high cost, something like that. If we will press OK, so we have this, and like we will write it like this: high cost, low cost. So now you can see the formula will be applied, and we have this column. So we will call it cost category or something like that, whatever you want to call it. Now once this cost category is there, if we select this table, you can see that cost category is not available here. First of all, I will paste it here, and here you can see field options, everything is there, but that cost category is not available. Let's try something. Let's go to data tab. In data tab we have refresh all, so we will refresh. Now it comes. So now we want to see this average recovery score by cost category, whether high cost or low cost. So this way we have the data, and that's why we can simply add another chart. A simple pie chart will work for us. So we can select this pie chart. High cost treatments are this. So what we can do, we can select this chart. There was one, yeah, this. So where we can see that treatments belonging to high cost as per our categorization are 51% and belonging to low cost are 49%. You can add more cost categories here as I stated. And here also we are going to use presets, not rounded corner, because in the second row we will keep these type of charts only. So this will be 15 point, this will be 9 point distance. Now we have this. Obviously we can increase its size further, so that we can cover the entire area. We can move it here and customize it. So we can copy the chart in dashboard, and then we can paste it anywhere. So let's place it here and use height and width accordingly. So this way now we have seen effect of average recovery score on different fields, or effect of different fields on average recovery score. Now before we proceed further, we can add some cosmetic elements like image, icons, etc. in our chart as well, or in our dashboard. So from here we can go to insert pictures, this device, and I have a folder called assets where we have some pictures that I created using Canva or other tools. So from here we can have these different pictures, and in this folder itself I have this hospital image. Let's say you are working for some hospital, they have given you their own logo. So obviously in their reports you will add their logos. So that's what I am doing here. Then this is patient count and all. So we can also go insert, we have icons. So Excel has these icons that you can use, that accessibility, etc. So if we select users, like, so you will be able to see that. So I will select and insert this icon and this icon will be used for patients. We will definitely have some medical icons also, but here we have, and we can use the same icon color. Similarly, we can go to shapes and icons. For monetary values, we can type money here and select some value like this and insert. For recovery score, we can use some health related icons. So like this or medical icon like this. We'll insert this and edit here. Obviously, we can use the same icon color, but let's say because you are representing health, for this we can create an exception. What is average recovery score? All this is your choice. Now we have to create one more chart, and that chart will be created on the basis of simple calculation that we have age group. Age starts from 1 year and goes up to 90. We have 200 patients of different age groups. Like here we created two groups. What if we want to create more groups? Like we can say from 0 to particular age are children, from then teenagers or adults, or however you want to categorize age. So let's see how we can do that. So here I am writing a logic. Like earlier we used if, and in if we just say if that is true, what, if that is false, then what. So here we are using nested ifs. So if this a2 is less than equal to 5, we will say infant or toddler. If a2 is less than equal to 12, child, and so on. So this is nested if. So number of brackets that we are opening will equal number of brackets that we are closing. We'll copy this, paste it here, and you can see. So now somehow it is calling all of them elderly. Let's see what is the issue here. Because age is in F2, not A2. So let me replace it. Now it's okay. And simple name for this column will be age group. So now you can see how to create this kind of calculated columns, and again it will not reflect here. First of all, we'll copy. So we have to see average recovery cost by age group also, whether for different age group recovery cost is different or it is same. It is not appearing. So in data, refresh, it appears. You will select that and we will select recovery score. So you can see now we have a simple chart here, and you can see for adult is 68. Obviously for different age group there is little bit of difference in average recovery score. You can do costing also, you can do the same thing for cost also. Now here I want to try another chart, and that chart that I want to try is this. This is a hierarchy chart or a tree map. We can also try sunburst, but you cannot create this chart type with data inside a pivot table, same problem. So we will copy this and paste values only. Then if we go to this chart and create this, so now we have the sunburst chart where you can see we have this, and obviously preferred chart type for me for this case is tree map, because in tree map you can see values also. So like I want to see that data which is not available here, but this will also not be customizable or filterable. So what we have to do is right click, select data, and I will remove everything. Chart will become blank. By selecting the chart, we will again go to select data and select this dynamic data. It will automatically select from pivot table. Click OK. Now chart is created. If you want, you can get rid of this data, and we'll simply paste it here. Rearrange and resize. When and how to use sunburst and other type of charts is covered in many other tutorials and will be covered in other tutorials as well. This is average recovery score by age group, which we have created using some custom logic. Then go to home tab, apply this text for our data, use bold. I think this font color is good. Now we have this. Obviously I don't like this style. I will prefer something like this where values are already given in these rectangles. These rectangles all have similar area because they have values that are very close to each other. Usually in a tree map, let's say I want to change, I will show you a tree map here. So usually in a tree map, this is a tree map, these rectangle depend upon the area of these rectangles depend upon their values. So for example, if we are selecting department as a category and treatment cost as values, so you can see some some rectangles are have bigger area than others. So that's what these tree maps represent. And I will apply the same styling here as well. Now I have my chart. So obviously I'm going to zoom it to 100%. And if you want to use a different kind of background, you can customize. Like you can try to customize width and height of these charts to match their top and adjacent neighbors. We can click here, auto hide ribbon. We can also go to view and disable formula bar and headings. So these things can be done so that our chart is available. Obviously I will try to increase its height so that it matches everything properly. So or we can use little bit of more space between these filters, and I will try to adjust width. So select all of them at once and adjust their width so all of them will become equal. Obviously now they are overlapping, so we can check that. And now we have a simple dashboard. You can interact with data. Let's say we want to see data for gender female. So once you will apply that filter, you will be able to see that for female how data is changing, like average recovery score for pediatrics is higher here, and so is the minimum, and standard deviation is higher in this case. You can click here, you have different value filters, you have different label filters, you can sort Z to A accordingly. So that is all you can do. Similarly, you can apply different filters or multiple filters as well to see the data in action. Let's say we want to compare different departments. So we can select department A, department B, department C, and we can try to see their patient count, average treatment count, treatment cost in these departments, their average patient age, etc. And here I think I can write average patient age so that it is clear. So now this simple chart is there. It's a simple looking chart. You can add more customizations to it as per your requirement. But this is how you can create an interactive, decent looking dashboard in Excel. If you have any questions, any suggestions, you spot some kind of a spelling mistake somewhere, please let us know in the comment section. Please subscribe to our channel so that we can bring more video like this for you in upcoming sessions. Thanks once again. Have a nice and wonderful day.